Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with our monthly gold and training materials update here as of September 2024. Now that we're starting things off with October, it's another historic month that I want to walk you guys through to analyze not just the spending, but as well as what's impacting my gold balance, and on top of that, how much gold did we actually earn for the month of September, and how have the training materials been trending, especially with the new Dark Dimension 8 being released. I fully completed Dark Dimension 7 now. We do have a full picture, so let's get right into it. First and foremost, folks, for those of you that have not seen these videos before, I make this once a month. It all really started last year when I wanted to start tracking, what was happening in terms of my gold balance, the spending, as well as the total income coming in, as well as what's going to happen over the total of time if I'm doing, typical spending and budgeting. So this December 2023 is a great recap because it gives you a snapshot of how it all started. As you can see, I was taking a look at the November 30 to December 30 balance. I was only down to 4.5 million gold. It went all the way up to 45.7. Then I would add in things to reconcile that balance, right? There was a war that happened a day after December 30th. And then on top of that, we add back what we actually spent per day. And this is the budget side. As you can see, at that time, I was only spending about 2.77 million gold per day, which then gives us some easy math to calculate and reconcile at the end of the month. As you can see from this quick example here of December 2023, our gold balance went up by 54 million. We spent 83 million. And then in total here, we actually earned 137 million gold when we reconcile the spend against the balance differentials. So that, in a nutshell, is kind of what we're going to be analyzing. It takes too much time to go through every single month like this. So what I've done then for the first couple of quarters now is I've summarized the data into these charts just to make it easier, right? As you can see with this one, we were still averaging about 2.7 million gold per day, but we started to ramp things up. Our average gold actually earned from January to March started ramping up like crazy. You can see 125 to 150 to 175. Our gold balance on the bottom there started adding up as well for the month over month. And finally, you can see here, my average spending was about 130 million gold per month. So net spending was still less than the average gold income. So we were building a balance, which you do see reflected. Now we see a bit of a pattern that occurred in quarter two, where the income did increase, but as well our spending ramped up because during this time is when Dark Dimension 7 got released. Crimson gear is super expensive in the store, so you saw this go up. And as well, I changed my minimum spending from 2.7 million gold per day to 6 million gold. So you can see here, my average gold income is now 175 million as opposed to the previous quarter, which was 150. And my average spending also got ramped up, as you can see in the red, right? It was 185 million gold per month that was spending, especially if you multiply that, 6 million gold per day times by the 30 days or whatever. It's damn close to 185. So you can see I was a little unhappy because we are seeing some slight differentials, and obviously the gold was actually starting to go down, but it was matching. It was almost matching 1-to-1 of what we were earning. So I was worried in terms of the gold economy actually scaling back, especially since in the previous quarter we did have a bit of a gap, so that way it can give us a bit of cushion to build a reserve over time. Now things got really, really interesting in these last few months because the summer months, everything totally changed. We started having a ramp up of many events. So July 2024, we saw Merch for Money Blitz events. Sword Satellite came back. There was a lot more kind of these promotion type events that we've seen with the Cosmic Crucible tournaments and so forth. So you can see the Envoy Crucible Pool Party gave us 9.5 million gold. For July anyways, our gold balance went up by a whopping 71 million, even though we still spent about 186, similar to the previous 3 months. In total here, the new gold record that we hit was 248 million gold. This was the record at the time when we hit it. The most gold that we've ever earned. And like I said, we saw our June 30th balance from 132 million propel all the way to 203. So this is a huge economy update, and as well, I'm sure everyone felt that additional infusion of gold, especially given that we're all ramping up and getting ready for Dark Dimension 7, and Dark Dimension 8 has not been announced yet at this time. Then we have August 2024. I think at this point, Odin and Dark Dimension 8 and all that jazz would have been announced, but you can see they continue where they've left off, right? Additional gold coming from Cosmic Crucible Tournament. There were some inbox gold rewards. Annihilators was released, and then we also have that incident with Shattered Dimension. Now, I was only able to capture part of Shattered Dimension repeat rewards in this month, as well as September, so you're going to see the rest of it later. But you can see our gold balance went down by 9 million, even though our gold spending ramped all the way up to 273. And just for contrast, remember, we spent 186 million gold in July, and it went all the way to 273 because I was building up my Annihilator characters. They got released. As you can see, I was starting to prep a lot more for Dark Dimension 7, so pretty massive there. So even though our gold spending went all the way up to 273 million, and we're like, you can see my my gold spending per day was still 6 million per day, plus whatever I wanted to add into Annihilators in Dark Dimension 7. Our gold total that we actually earned was 250 million. So very, very similar to the month of July. And now we're finally taking a look at September. How did this change in September? We're expecting things to go up, but remember, I only captured part of the Shattered Dimension debacle in August, right? This is how September looks now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a lot of things to unpack here. So, once again, oh, there's a typo there on the very bottom. This should be September 30th balance, but okay. Big things that happened this month. Shattered Dimension got released, so obviously there's rewards there. The ×3 again. I think you could do a total of 3 times. So that was part of the August month, but it carried forward because of the timing of it. Old Man Logan Trials returned, Escape from Kiln, and as well, I completed Dark Dimension 7 twice. And let's not forget, Dark Dimension 8 also began, so you can get some rewards there in terms of materials and resources. But let's take a look at the monthly differentials. August 31st balance was in 194, and we ended off at 189. So our balance actually only went down 5 million. But let's not forget everything that happened in between. We had 180 million gold being spent for the 30 days. So remember, it's just 1 day short of the previous summer months. So that 6 million differential could be quite a big difference if you add it up over time. But more importantly, Dark Dimension 7 and Mephisto preparation and Dark Dimension 8, this was a sizable and record spending on my account. This totaled 325 million gold spent. But you can see, even though we spent 325, we still earned over 300 million gold. A new historic record in my account, as well as I'm sure for most folks that were able to also start and finish Dark Dimension 7 this month. With everything else, Kiln, Logan, Dark Dimension 8, over 300 million golds, ladies and gentlemen. We earned 320, and again, this is a 50 million increase in spending from the last month, as well as a 70 million increase in gold net earned in the account. So this is by far the highest gold we've ever seen ever. And my fear is, will this continue? Because this spending is matching the income. But remember, now that we wrapped up Dark Dimension 7 and we're not purchasing Crimson Gear outright, the same as before, this is definitely going to scale back down. So I'm very, very interested how the last quarter of the year is going to be, because this was an absolute historic month in terms of spending, in terms of gold income. But remember, this is all free to play, guys. I'm not purchasing anything in this game. No battle passes, no strike passes, nothing. So this is for all of you players out there that are just engaged players and playing the game and taking advantage of things like the repeated Shattered Dimension event. So now that we wrapped up September and we're taking a look at October, November, December, this is the kind of summary, right? We saw in quarter 1 it was around 150 million gold, quarter 2 175. Then July and August averaged and increased sizably to 250. In September, like I said, was 320. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the last of the quarter of the year shakes out to be, because we've seen this promise, right? Even if you look at how we were only around 150 million gold per month in the first quarter versus now doubling in September, that's going to be very interesting to watch. Remember, this is a bit bloated because obviously includes that repeated Shattered Dimension event as well as Dark Dimension 7. So I'm expecting the average of the last quarter to be closer to more like 250 to 300, right? But this was actually a historic month for myself, given everything that happened with the events. So once again, guys, my recommendation for all you folks out there having an issue with gold, if you guys are, stay on budget. Spend 6 million gold per day if you're able to, and that continues to build a gold supply. That's what I did, and when I built that supply, then I can utilize that freely for Dark Dimension 7 prep, other characters, new teams, so forth. Our gold economy is very, very strong right now. Having said that, now let's pivot over real quick here to the training update, because I like to add this snapshot as well, since we've been tracking this for the last few months. As you can see, not as much material to work with the gold, but we did start tracking this in July. And some couple things to note, right? It takes about 3.7 million gold in experience to bring a character from level 1 to level 100. Why is that important? Because that factors into why my L4 training materials have jumped sizably down, right? So you can see the green has decreased quite a bit since July all the way to September. The blue is actually very comfortable because we barely use those resources. It's mainly green in the L4s that we're using consistently, and same can be said for the L3 purple ones. It's jumped up sizably. We've been actually gaining about 5.9 or 6% of our total experience points per month in our account, and that's really just from the fact that we're playing the game and engaged. And like I said, the rewards have been good as they come. The one thing to be mindful of, though, is in August we obviously brought 3 characters from level 1 to level 100, being the Annihilator, so that ate up quite a bit of my L4s. And then more importantly, I completed Dark Dimension 7, which still required me to bump up at least 10 characters to level 100, even though they were sitting at level 90 or level 95. That took down the L4. So now I would expect a reversal trend to happen in the following months, just because we won't be seeing this much activity going forward, especially since the last quarter of the year usually slows down a bit. So 17.6% since July 1st of total EXP, and we're earning about 6% of our total roster per month, even though net of all the investments that we've done. So overall, guys, I'm pretty happy with the trading materials as well. This goes to show you, if you're managing your budget and trying to consistently make sure that you're not overspending, you're not spending 100 million gold per day in terms of bringing characters up and training mats, then this is all manageable. Right now, the economy is very, very strong, so I'm pretty happy with how Marvel Strike Force has been releasing this gold, as well as the training materials that are available. So let me know how your guys' situation is. Obviously, I understand it can be different from account to account, but like I said, I'm a pretty extreme example where I've already wrapped up Dark Dimension 7, and now I suspect that my training materials will only go up now as a result of that massive investment being completed. So, thank you for your time as always, and I'll see you guys next month. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.